Anything else?
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Thank you for your time today, Bill, coming in. Todd.
Yes.
You're next.
With regional
Bring it
planning.
on.
Well, I'm not bringing it on. It just seems like with the last 2 meetings we were at, we had a little bit of confusion and stuff like that. So I want to clear up some of that confusion. And from what I understand is maybe I don't even need to present because I think things have been worked out somewhat. But I still want to get you excited about this. This is going to be a great plan for Brimfield. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring you what we did for Streetsboro just recently. This is from April of last year. So go to page 6. So one of the things about this is we did, and you can scroll up on that a little bit. So, whoops, not so fast. So basically we start out the plan with why do you do a plan? We have all these different reasons to explain to you and your community why you want to do a plan. Then we talk about the data and analysis for the community. What I really want to show you guys is get to the maps, but I'm just walking you through this right now. So go to page 15. Yeah, 15. Yeah. So then we talk about we do the history of Brimfield, the background of Brimfield, all the data analysis of Brimfield, and provide that you got to know where you are before you can actually plan for the future. So we provide all that information, and then you go to page 22. And then we talk. And then we begin to start our chapters. We have like 8 different chapters we want to include in there, including the more current, the 5-year plan. I believe is one of the very primary things. But scroll through that if you want. So we do again by chapter. We show the data. We talk about. We have the survey results. We're going to be doing a survey, and we talk about all the things that are going on. And then at the end of the chapters, we talk about the goals and objectives and strategies. Next one is 73. So,
as part of this, not to interrupt your presentation, but as part of this, do you compare us to other townships in the state?
Yeah, we can do. We can do that. We can do
some comparative analysis.
So we can compare you to. What probably makes the most sense is to compare you to Portage County, and we could do this to the state. We did that with So we did that with Streetsboro. It's kind of interesting because originally we started out with Streetsboro. We compared them with Aurora, Hudson, because they're neighbors. They're both neighbors. Mm-hmm. Aurora, Hudson, and Kent, right? Mm-hmm. And they said, you can compare us with Kent, but don't compare us with Aurora and Hudson. But we did do Portage County. We compared to Portage County. We compared them to the state of Ohio, and so we were able to do that with them. And we did a historical comparison, so how did it change over the last 20 years. So we did that. So when we did their land use plan, we basically showed all their different land uses as they were. Now slowly scroll down these, go down for a little faster. So what we did with this is we had to show the whole thing, and then we talked about what was your standard rural residential district, and we just pulled everything out. And so that's your rural residential areas, and then slide down. So you just looked at what that was. And then you went down to your low density. So we just pulled those out. So you can see how they fit on your community all by themselves. And we did this as a static maps for Streetsboro. For you guys, we can do this as interactive maps, which we're going to get to. So you boom, 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 and you're going to have a ton of unfortunately, these maps have no data behind them because they're in a book. These other maps we're going to give you are going to have either interactive and there's going to be a ton of data behind them. So Mike or anybody who wants to pull that, it's going to be attached to an Excel spreadsheet. So you can take those Excel numbers and you can play with those numbers however you want to organize them. So it's going to be kind of cool. 91 is the implementation. So we have, for the implementation of the Streetsboro plan, we have a bunch of stuff. That's probably one of the biggest things I heard here was that we don't want to plan this at some shelf. So keep scrolling down on that. There's a bunch of different ways to implement. I think we had like 11. I think we identified 11 different ways to implement their plan. One of the ways, if you keep going further, see, I got my assistant here. We didn't practice this before we got here, but she's doing great. I'm not picking on her. She probably feels like I'm picking on her, but I'm not. But there's a bunch of different ways to implement. But go to 104. I think is that the that's economic development. Yeah, go to 104. So I just want to show you what we're talking about. So when we talk about this is economic development for that. So we have these different categories. This P, C, A, E, D. Those are the people who are responsible for doing it. So when you guys see these plans, you might say, "Oh my gosh, we're Brimfield Township. We can't do all that." So you go down to the next page, and I'll show you what that means. Each one of those, keep looking for show that green box. So all of these acronyms, CA was CC was the city council there. ED is economic development. RPC is planning. Like this one talks about small scale agriculture stuff. P is the city planning. CA is their city attorney. PRD is the private developers and development. So we identify who your partners are. in doing this. This isn't all on Brimfield to do. And the other thing too that scares people when we first show them a plan, they're like, oh my gosh, this is going to cost a fortune. But it's also a 20 to 30 year plan, so you're supposed to be doing incrementally over 20 to 30 years, and you're taking small bites of the elephant. You're not trying to eat the elephant in one bite. You know, that's not possible, right?
Well, it's a test for us too, when new ideas come up, does it support this plan to get us where we need to be?
Exactly. And in each objective, it should, and this one doesn't, but it should, like for this one's small agricultural operations. What we should have in there is we should say we have 150 agricultural operations in Brimfield. And so when we do the update 5 or 10 years from now, not how many agricultural operations do we have? Do we have more? Do we have less? So you need to measure where you've been and where you've gotten to, and are you being successful? You got to test it to make sure you're actually accomplishing things. Because the worst thing you do is let it sit on a shelf. The second worst thing you do is not be accomplishing your goals. I mean, that's the whole point of this, right?
So who does the updating? Do you do it as you go along, or is it something we'd have to pay again?
Well, we're going to talk about that in when we strategize. But I think you need to annually look at your goal, your 1 year goals, and see if you hit those. You need to have the forward thinking to see what we're still having our 5 year range, and then you keep trying to accomplish those things. But at the same time, when you're working on today's stuff, you need to be focused over here too. So really, I would kind of look at it as like, we're here today, and we want to be here, someday in the future. And what you're doing is you're working on today, spending here today, but you're going to slowly you want to get to your goals, in a cost-effective, fiscally responsible way, and something the township can handle.
So there's future costs down the road.
Well, there's always costs down the road.
Does Portage County fund portion of your program, or are you out on your own?
On the what program?
Your business, your office, is it funded by Portage County at all, or do they kick into this project at all in any way, or is it just funded by your business and then our contributions? How is it funded?
Okay, we're going back to RPC again. Okay, so
whatever that is, I just want to know.
Commission. So
right.
Yeah, so we're really a weird kind of organization. When I say that,
I just want to know if Portage County fund.
Yeah, well, Portage, just like they pay dues, just like you do. They pay more money than you guys do. Per person.
Just an annual fee like
yeah,
we pay?
Exactly. The annual fee.
They don't kick in when there's additional cost to have a plan put together.
No.
Even though it values of their land goes up and they make more taxes on it, they don't contribute any of it to it.
I'm trying to think. The only thing that they really kicked into that was extra beyond it was a grant writer. They paid for a grant writer, and currently they just re-upped.
Is that more than what we're paying for it? I mean, because they're going to make more money off this than we are in the regards to business moving in and development and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so the idea of the idea of the plan isn't necessarily to make more money. The idea is to create a quality of life for your community that your residents want to
sure,
love and
enjoy.
enjoy.
Sustain.
Right, exactly.
That, so.
And the purpose of the plan is to stay vibrant, is to either become vibrant or stay vibrant. You don't want to be stagnant. If you're stagnant, you're going to fall behind. That's just how that works.
Well, I understand all that. I guess I'm just
fall behind the other communities that are actually trying to improve themselves.
I'm still on the funding portion of it. I hate to be on that, but the more I've thought about it, and we've already got the funding set up, so we're not going to get away. But we're putting $21,000 towards it, and it's going to make our commercial areas possibly become better to get better value to our land and all that. But then Portage County makes money off that as well, because the value of the land goes up and the taxes and all that. But they don't contribute to any of that. Right. Study, right? They don't contribute any dollars towards the cost of that?
Have you gone back to them and asked them?
No, hold on. So as I explained before, the county is in the process of doing their own plan, right? Which would include all of Brimfield. But okay. Their plan would not be anywhere close to as specific as we're being with you. Not anywhere close. So it's really, when you look at the plan, it's basically patching together a bunch of quilts together of all the different plans that we have.
But we all live in the same community. But they have
county
taxes.
So the main concept of the county's plan is really to get the bigger picture out there. What's the bigger picture for all our communities to do, and to let the rest of the world know. This talk about bringing in money and bringing in business. Let the rest of the world know that Portage County cares. We have plans. We want to improve our community. We want to be a better place to live, work, and play. And that's the purpose of their plan. Your plan is to be very specific, very much about quality.
I don't want to sound bad, but I don't care about Wyndham and what their plans are. My job is Brimfield Township.
Of course you don't. And that's part of the point is why the county needs one, is to, because you're all in your own silos, and when we talk about the parks plan we're about to show you, you'll understand what that did and how successful that was. But yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I think we need to be cost conscious, cost effective. Make sure that this isn't a burden to the township, but at the same time a benefit to your residents. I mean, that's really the bottom line there. So you're gonna, when you see the next, you haven't seen the rest of this yet.
Right. I
So-
just don't know how many residents are even gonna pay attention to this.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, thank you. You set that up. All right, so.
I know, but I'm just worried now you're saying that there's gonna be yearly costs. I mean, it's,
I didn't say anything about your.
No, he's saying that yearly we
For-
need
for
to,
maintenance.
Evaluate.
yearly we need
okay,
to
but is
set
that
our,
we need to or they need to?
You
Is
do.
this something we're gonna have
can
to?
I finish my sentence,
Yeah, go
please?
ahead.
We need to, like we did at the beginning of this year, remember, we sat down as a team, and we're gonna talk about this
Yeah.
during the meeting today, we set 1-year goals. That's what he's alluding to, is that we as a team need to look at what this 50-year plan is, what we accomplished last year in our goals, what we're going to set as goals for this year to support the 5-year plan, which eventually supports the 50-year. So that's the work that we have to do behind the scenes, and we've started that vehicle, but we need stronger, right now, we started that vehicle looking right here in front of us. We need this study to see what that 50-year, what you want to see Brimfield look like in 50 years, but more importantly, what everyone out here wants to see Brimfield look like.
Okay, well, we'll stop bothering you. You go ahead.
Well, and I get all that too, Nick. That's not even my issue at all, and I agree with that. I guess I'm stuck, and I apologize. I'm stuck on that. We're paying for the whole thing. Portage County doesn't pay anything for it, and they're going to make money off of it,
Well,
just like we are in taxes.
Portage County is still paying their membership fees just like the other communities.
Well, I know, but we
And
pay
that's-
ours as well.
No, I know, but.
How much do they pay?
They pay, when you asked me last time, you said, how much is Portage County taking? And I told you what they pay the membership, $150. They pay $150,000 in membership. So without their contribution, we don't have a regional planning commission. So, you know, they actually support the fact that we're even here. I mean, what you guys all contribute all adds up to, you know,
It's like
staff.
we're going in on a business partnership
You
with
are.
someone, but
You
one
are.
person's funding it all and the other one isn't. And they're going to
No,
make
no.
money off of when it succeeds.
Well,
That's kind of.
I hear what you're saying, but this really is meant to benefit you more than the county. I mean, that's the
Well,
bottom line.
I totally get that. This is your plan and all the. I 100% agree that Brimfield Township needs a guide like that. I just don't like the way it's funded. That's all.
I know, but you're gonna like the next, we haven't gotten there yet, but we're gonna get there after this one. So one of the things we did with Streets Bros, we did a citywide survey. We did that on the community's website. We put it at the county, not the county, the Streetsboro Library. We had different ways. We went to a couple of events. We could go to Brimfest, for example, and set up tents and say, hey, we want to hear about your, you know. And we have, usually what we do there is we have a map of Brimfield. We have them put a dot where they live or where they work, so we know they're actual residents or actual employees of the community. So that way we can weed out the ones who are just showing up at Brimfest. And if we can't, then I want to take the survey. So that's how we do it. This survey, you can only take it once per device, kind of thing. We just did one for Ravenna on their wayfinding concepts, and I'm going to do this at the county level. I'm going to do this at your level. And this might be a little more tricky since Suffield's in field school system, but we did this with Ravenna, and we had all the high school kids take a survey about their community. And it's funny because we had the same survey for the adults, and the 50 and overs were the exact opposite. They voted the exact opposite. Like we had 4 different kind of styles and designs for the downtown Ravenna area, and all the old 50-plus people like the historic look. The kids like the contemporary, young, vibrant look. They wanted more green, whatever, and everybody else wanted just more historical stuff. So I'm just saying it's important to get them involved. Now let's go to the bigger stuff. So let's go to the park. So what we did started 2 years ago is we had a parks collaboration plan that we worked on. So back to your silos thing, everybody, and, you know, the park, and not to pick on Peetz because she's still relatively new, but all the communities have their own parks, and the park district has their park, and everybody works. I only care about my parks. I only care about my parks. But the reality of it is that there's a lot of opportunity there that's being lost. And what are those opportunities? For one thing, if you have, let's say 2 communities are want to do a ball field, you're right next door to each other, rather than one community pay for a whole ball field and another community do a ball field, why don't you work together and do that? Same is true for programming. Rather than everybody have their own programs and everybody else has their own programs, if you're right next to each other, why don't you share programming? You know, and that shares costs. And then there's equipment. Why does everybody have to have, you know, 5 mowers when, you know, we could use 6 and we only have 3 now for each side, you know?
Everybody has a ladder truck in Portage County except us. I don't know why we need all those, but
But you get my point. The idea was to collaborate. But one of the other things that we want to do is something for the residents. So there's so many great parks. I mean, you guys have great parks. A lot of the other communities have great parks. So how do we let people in Portage County know about that? So we started this. We had a grant to do this project, and we basically made a spreadsheet of all the communities with all their parks and all the activities in the park, and we even did private sector recreation as well as that. So we're here in Brimfield. So why don't we click on Portage first? So when you click on Portage, this is all the parks and recreation in the county, including the dots of the private sector. Now, if you go to Brimfield, it just takes you to Brimfield. So those are the parks in Brimfield. And if you click on, click on any of those parks, I don't know about the Motherwell Reserve, but
Do the Cranberry Creek.
Cranberry Creek. So you click on that, it gives you the name of the park, the address, it tells you the activities, dog park, cross-country skiing, sledding, hiking, the amenity there is parking. You click on the more info, and that takes you to Brimfield's website, right to the Cranberry Creek website, and you can get more information there. So really, really all the information, you guys still control it all, by doing it that way. But we can post a whole bunch of information in here. I mean, this box can be filled with anything. So we'll talk about that in a second, how that impacts the plan here. We can do trails. You can click on this trail, click the Buckeye Trail, and that segment tells you how long that trail is. It's 11.58 miles. So then you click out of that. If you wanted to see, like if you go back to the Portage County thing here, on the left-hand side here, all the different activities there are. So what kind of activities do you like to do? Name an activity.
Sit in my easy boy.
Well, we don't have the easy boy.
How about hiking?
Hit hiking. So you hit hiking, and that's where all the places where you can go hiking are in Portage County. If you hit golf, for example, if you like golf, those are the golf courses in Portage County. You can click on those, and they'll, again, tell you where it is, phone number, and their website. Do dance or something like that.
That's Nick's name.
It's all John.
There's dance, then you do gym. So what happened was, when we did this parks map originally, we did a soft launch in Manaway Village, because they were doing the Burning River event in June. And so these people were looking at the parks map without a lot of this private stuff. Well, actually, this private stuff wasn't on there. Some of this private stuff wasn't on there. And so basically, this one lady came up to us and said, I have a coffee shop, I want to be on map. Oh, well, this is the Parks and Rec map. Why would I put a coffee shop on it? And then she went away, and 10 minutes later, my guy was in there playing around with it, and he says, I have a restaurant. I want to be on your map. And I'm like, but this is a parks map. So that's when our light bulb went off and said, hey, this is more than just a parks map. This is a lot of different things. It's turned out to be a lot of different things. We started out with the chambers. I don't know if you have any of the chambers up. Mm-hmm. You have...
There's pickleball. I bet you we're the only one that has pickleball.
Do you want to see us play pickleball? We can do that.
That was the thing that Keaton Smith made, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that what's called?
Gaga.
No, Gaga.
Gaga ball. Where's Gaga ball at up there? We're the only one that has that.
There's one there and one in Ravenna.
Pickleball, I know what that is.
We have laser tag on there too, which is kind of a unique thing. We have libraries and movie theaters on here as well. But what we did was we went to the chambers, said, hey chambers, give us your membership directory, and we basically turned that all on, interactive. Is that Streets Bros? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then same kind of concept. We can break it. That's everything. If you go to the side where it shows the individual kind, so that's everything that was shown. But if you click that off, and then you can pick, like, listen, I just need Chamber of Commerce, or not Chamber of Commerce. I need banking or financing. So you click on that, and they pop up, and you can blow that up, and there's driving instructions on there and stuff like that.
Can you click on Brimfield's tab out there? Instead, just from that perspective, that same way.
This one doesn't have tabs, not in the chambers map, but
I don't believe Brimfield Chamber's a member of this.
We're talking to the Visitors Bureau though, and they want to be members.
Well, the chambers also, I presented last week, so they have some interest in this.
Okay.
So we'll talk offline.
And we did, okay, that's fine. We've already done Aurora, Streets Bureau, and Ravenna, and we're working with Brimfield, and we're working with Lewistown. Currently, we're also.
So it's a project underway. Okay.
Yeah, and then we're also, and how we're doing this, if you're wondering how, okay, so let's go back to the Parks and Rec one. So how we're doing the Parks and Rec one, it's really easy to maintain. So, once a year, we're gonna send Cassie an Excel spreadsheet. She can, add any new amenities she wants to add. If she has a new park, she can click on the new amenities that are gonna go into that park. If something's gone, now she can take that off, and then we'll rerun it, and that's how it's gonna stay current from there. But it's going to be no cost to our goal is no cost to the township or any of the townships. Our goal is to take all these private sector folks and have them pay a $25 annual fee for that, which is really cheap, and it's marketing. The other chambers, how they're going to do it is they're going to pay us $25, but they're going to charge the members a total of $50 because they think $50 is a reasonable price for that. And so it's going to be a marketing, it's going to be a funding resource for them, and it's going to be a marketing opportunity as well for the members there. And then if you're not a member and you want to be on our map, that's fine, but we want to encourage people to be members, so we're going to charge a higher rate for the non-members to encourage them to be members.
Let me just ask this, and I don't mean to be a
Sure.
devil's advocate, but isn't this Google?
It's
Pretty
Google,
much.
It's Google on steroids.
Well, so if I'm out there, John Dalzell, just looking to go play pickleball, I'm going to type it into Google. Is this going to pop up, or are we going to just be on the bottom of everybody's list and paying for a big payment?
That's a good comment, because one of the things is you have to pay to be on the top of the list. So from the chamber standpoint, how this works is everybody comes up equally. You know, if you're no matter how small or big you are, you're going to come up equally. There's no special fee to pop up a little bit faster than anybody else. So you're going to be all shown at the same time. And now you, as a consumer, can say, well, I'm closer to this one than I am to that one. Why don't I check that out? So this is also providing better awareness for those.
Just goes in clicks, though. As soon as they click, it'll move it up to the top.
Well,
No.
what are you talking about?
Well, Google's based off of clicks.
Yes.
So
So it's moved up, or you can pay a fee and go
Right.
it that way. And there's no fee necessary to pay. You're paying $25, which is, you don't pay anything to Google, I suppose, but at the same time, $25 is a month either. So.
And this is all the chamber members that are going to fund this, or any of the businesses that are
The
listed out there?
we've discussed with the chambers, and what we also discussed is we're not going to charge them for 6 to 9 months, because we want the members and the public to be aware of it. We're actually meeting with some of the chamber members the first part of March to make sure that, what they want is they want a name for this. They want to actually call it the chamber stuff. They want to give it a name, so the public, when we start marketing this to the public says, oh, I need to go whatever the name's going to be, X, Y, Z, or whatever it is. I'm just making that up, but then they can go, and we want to ultimately create an app, so you can click on that, and then all this stuff will come up. I'm looking for auto, poof, there are all the autos. I'm looking for finance, but there's that. Here's childcare, poof, there's childcare.
But-
Where's the restaurants at, poof.
But more to the point of why we needed to see this map for part of our plan
Oh,
is
yeah.
our plan will be tied in, just because we're running out of time here.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry.
So you're okay.
So yes. So okay, really quick. So with this kind of a map, what I want to do with your plan is there's like 11 different maps we want to make interactive, and one of those is the final document will be all the different things you want to do over the next 5 to 10 to 20 to maybe even 30 years, and you can show it by year. Like these are the projects we're going to do in the next 5 years. It's going to tell you what it is, why you're doing it, how much it's going to cost, who's doing it. So the public will have this. This will no longer sit on the shelf. This will be made available to the public. Just like this, I think this is already on your website, right?
I don't think we've made it up there yet.
Oh, well, this is meant to be for the public to
Right.
use on and we made it available to all the communities, because all the communities are on there. So that kind of information will be on there. We can show your land use information. We show environmental features interactively, see where those things pop up. Bring that out in more clearly. I think we identified 11 different interactive maps that we wanted to do for you. We had zoning, we had vacant land that we could do. We could take anything and do that. Capital improvement projects that you might have coming up. One of the things we were also working on with Ravenna and Manaway Township is a historic properties map. So all your historic properties, like let's say there's 30, in Manaway there's 31 of those. So you could 31 historic properties. So on the side there, you can click on it. It'll show you where in Manaway that is. You open up and you give you a picture of the current structure, and then a complete write-up of that. So who lived there, what business was there, and maybe an old-timey photo of one's available. But this is a interactive walking tour of your community that's going to be there forever. Really easy to maintain, really easy to update. It's going to be phenomenal because it's an educational tool for your young kids, educational for the adults, and it's also an educational tool for your visitors. I'm here in Brimfield, and what is that old house? What is the Kelso house? And now they can just go and find it. It'll be really easy to do. So we're excited about that. There's a lot of internal facing stuff that we could do, like we could. For police and fire, for example, this is the external facing stuff. Internal facing stuff could be, where are the incidents, where are the fires, where are the, calls going to, and you can track that over years and things like that.
So your goal with all of this is it's going to make Brimfield Township property more valuable to developers to come in, or to help us figure out what we should move into this. I mean,
that could definitely be there could be a focus on that. But I think the real focus should be, or is it's an added value to your residents. It's just an added value to your residents.
John, part of this is as we do those districts and what our future plans are, the developers, when they first contact Mike, are going to be directed to our website. Here's our economic page. This map is part of that page. And then they can see what our 5 or 50-year plan is, our 5-year goals, and see what they're looking to invest.
that doesn't have anything to do with the Google search.
Right. No, he was just showing you how that system worked and how that's going to be converted into a piece that works for us.
Yeah, as far as the other thing, the Google finding business and stuff, I think that's something I work through the chamber with, not really the township. I mean, that information will be available to the township, and maybe in another manner, I'm working with, Wayne County's called and asked for all this stuff too now, and one of the things they want is site selection, like you're talking about, so we're gonna be working on that. And I think, I was just talking with Brad Arhart from the county, Portage Development Board, and I said, I think, Brad, we should probably be thinking about this too, and how that works to help you out. But that's not the focus of the plan. The focus of the plan is really for you guys, not for anybody else, not future residents, but current residents. I mean, I guess it is for future residents too.
Yeah,
But
because
the reality
that's how
is-
we're directing
Yeah.
our growth.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions for him?
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for that presentation.
Sure, thank you. Sorry it took so long.
You worked under pressure too. Look at me giving you a hard time.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for.